Charlie Kirk's shooting has shaken the nation, and now the biggest update has finally arrived. The suspect is in custody, and Donald Trump himself has confirmed it. This shocking event, which unfolded at Utah Valley University during Kirk's highly publicized American Comeback Tour, has quickly become one of the most high-profile political tragedies of 2025, sparking debates about security, political violence, and the role of family in turning in a loved one accused of murder. On September 10th, Kirk, just 31 years old and a central figure in conservative politics as the co-founder of Turning Point USA, was on stage speaking to a crowd of thousands when the unthinkable happened. A single sniper bullet struck him in the neck mid-debate, sending the entire audience into chaos. Witnesses described the scene as horrifying, with screams erupting as security rushed him away. He was rushed to a hospital but tragically died from his injuries. The crowd, initially gathered for a heated yet intellectual debate, instead witnessed a national tragedy play out before their eyes. The hours that followed were filled with fear and confusion. Law enforcement swarmed the university grounds, helicopters circled overhead, and students were evacuated. The FBI quickly joined the investigation, recovering forensic evidence from a rooftop that pointed to a carefully planned assassination. Authorities found a high-powered bolt-action rifle, palm prints, and even an imprint believed to be from the suspect's forearm, showing that the shooter had set up a precise vantage point to target Kirk. Almost immediately, the nation wanted answers. Who had killed Charlie Kirk, and why? Political commentators speculated endlessly, rumors spread across social media, and tension grew. In an unprecedented move, officials released surveillance footage and still photographs of a suspect seen near the rooftop area. A reward of $100,000 was offered, with authorities urging the public to come forward with any information. The manhunt intensified and pressure mounted. Then came the twist no one expected. The suspect's own family stepped forward. Tyler Robinson, a 22-year-old from Utah, was identified as the shooter after his father reportedly alerted authorities through a local minister. Robinson later surrendered to police, confirming suspicions that this was indeed the man seen fleeing from the rooftop. It was an emotional revelation that left many reeling, a family torn apart by the unimaginable act of turning in their own son, and a country left wondering what could have driven someone so young to commit such a crime. Donald Trump, a close ally and friend of Kirk, was quick to respond publicly. In a high-profile interview, Trump declared with confidence that the suspect was in custody, calling it a moment of justice and insisting that Robinson face the harshest possible punishment. Trump, who has promised to posthumously honor Kirk with the Presidential Medal of Freedom, framed the assassination as not only a personal attack on Kirk but as a broader assault on American democracy and free speech. Utah Governor Spencer Cox echoed the outrage, calling the killing a deliberate political assassination and stating that the death penalty should be on the table. For many conservatives, Kirk is now being remembered as a martyr for his beliefs, someone who dared to stand on college campuses and debate ideas that many found controversial, only to pay the ultimate price. But beyond the political framing, there is a human tragedy that cannot be ignored. Students who attended the event described being traumatized by the experience, saying they never imagined witnessing such violence in what should have been a space for discussion and debate. Faith leaders across Utah held vigils, urging communities not to allow hatred or division to define the future. Social media flooded with tributes to Kirk, while others called for reflection on the increasing dangers faced by public figures in today's polarized climate. The reaction has been far from uniform. While many grieve and call for unity, others are pointing fingers, blaming the toxic culture of political extremism and heated rhetoric that has defined American politics in recent years. Some argue that such a climate inevitably breeds violence, while others stress the importance of protecting freedom of speech and not silencing controversial voices. Kirk's assassination has, in many ways, become a flashpoint in the ongoing cultural war in America. Robinson's motives remain under investigation, though officials have said he made troubling statements in the days leading up to the shooting. His family, now caught in the spotlight, faces public scrutiny for their decision to turn him in, a choice that some call heroic, while others view it as an unbearable act of betrayal. The story of this family. adds another layer of drama to an already complex tragedy. Meanwhile, the nation is left grappling with urgent questions. How do we prevent political violence without infringing on free speech? Are public figures at greater risk now than ever before? And what lessons can be learned from the tragic death of Charlie Kirk? In Washington, debates have already begun over new security measures for political events, especially those held at universities and public spaces. Some are calling for increased funding for protective details, while others fear that locking down campuses with heavy security will kill the open exchange of ideas that people like Kirk championed. As the investigation into Robinson continues, more details are expected to emerge about how he planned the attack, what motivated him, and whether he acted alone or had outside influence. For now, though, his arrest brings at least a measure of closure to a grieving movement that has lost one of its most recognizable young leaders. Charlie Kirk's death is already reshaping the political landscape. Turning Point USA has vowed to continue his mission, framing him as a symbol of courage and conviction. Trump's promise of a Presidential Medal of Freedom cements Kirk's place in conservative history, ensuring that his name will be remembered not just for the debates he sparked but for the way his life was cut short. The public reaction continues to unfold across the country. Candlelight vigils, heated online debates, emotional speeches from friends and allies, all of it paints a picture of a nation mourning but also fiercely divided. Some see Kirk as a fallen hero, while others view his death as a grim warning of where unchecked political polarization can lead. What is certain is that this story is far from over. With the suspect in custody, the trial ahead will be closely watched. The family's role in turning him in will remain a haunting subplot. And Kirk's legacy, already immortalized by tributes and promises of honor, will continue to stir strong emotions on both sides of the political spectrum. This assassination has not only silenced a young political voice but has forced America to confront the dangerous reality of its divisions. Whether this becomes a turning point toward healing or a symbol of worsening conflict remains to be seen. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.